I think we are looking for a certain type of tourism, you know. It's, you know, we're not looking for that big whole-scale thing where you have high-rise buildings and hotels and so on.
One plan has been, I don't know what, if the new plan has that as an element of it, has been to focus on upscale tourism as opposed to mass tourism. Instead of getting 50,000 people into your country on a weekend, people spending $10 each, you get 10,000 spending $50 each, and you're far better off because your infrastructure is not pressured into service.
I dare say that there is also a good opportunity for us to start doing things from a sports tourism point of view. As you know, Trinidad and Tobago in 2006 was the tiniest nation ever to have qualified for the World Cup.
We are now realizing the potentials of tourism in Trinidad and Tobago. So definitely we would like to see it grow much more than it is right now.
It hasn't been going anywhere. If anything, it has stagnated.
Because, as you know, in any part of the world, when crime is on the increase, there is a reluctance to come to that particular country.
All-out confrontation between residents of Lavent Hill and heavily armed police, just moments after residents threw stones at the officers and the police fired several shots. Within minutes, what was earlier a shouting battle between residents and a handful of police officers turned into a volatile situation.
Look, crime is a serious social problem, social and economic problem in the country, which has developed over decades and which is now part of the whole international environment. And you have to talk about drugs. We are next door, we are 7 miles away from Venezuela and overland from Colombia. And the drug trafficking trade, it is known that it makes a jump through the Caribbean seas. Several jumps here, Dominican Republic, Haiti, etc., transporting the narcotics to the north.
And now, given that all that is happening with tourism, with the fact that they have now recognized it for what it's worth, I think that you're going to find that the mechanisms will be put in place to safeguard people.
I think what has to happen is that the social, even criminal justice system, the economic system, they have to become far more efficient than they are now.
If you begin to market your country in a way that attracts the eyes of the rest of the world, and you put the mechanisms in place to make sure that people are safe despite the crime and everything, if you can attract them in a way, market the country in a way for the things like the culture, the sports industry, the eco-tourism, all of these things. It's a question of marketing.
Advertisements is very important, and we need to sell ourselves properly.
Because marketing is a basic thing. You got to choose your areas that you know most of the tourists are coming from, and you send out your people there to do their different jobs and so on.
Actually, there is better documentation done by foreigners in Trinidad about Trinidad. What we need to do here is do a proper documentation for ourselves.
It can be profitable, it can be productive, it can work with what is in the national interest, but it must be developed with a focus.
There must be a certain amount of predictability in the whole thing. You come to Tobago, you might get injured, you'll be able to have good health care. Transportation should be easy.
I believe that we need greater visitor amenities, okay? Greater emphasis must be put on visitor amenities, especially washrooms, dustbins, okay, and garbage collection.
Proper littering, policing. They need maybe more bins about the place to take care of garbage and stuff. We need more awareness of the local population.
Since we have started our plastic world, Mother Earth is crying. She's definitely crying out.
The ecotourism that we are developing, no matter how many people come to the country to see our ecosystem, once it's controlled properly, I think we would not be really interfering too much, or maybe not at all. As a matter of fact, the government of Trinidad and Tobago have a 2020 vision. In the year 2020, they would like Trinidad and Tobago to become first world status. Well, of course, you know that we're a third world country. So this government, they're just skipping second and going straight to first.
If we are going forward, this 2020 vision, we are saying 2020 we're going to be like first world. You know, it's pretty challenging because, I mean, we are almost there and we're not seeing the fruits that are really coming to par, you know. So we have lots of work to be done. I think the bottom line is education, as I said, from nursery to tertiary. If everyone gets into the game, I think we can make it.
Well, I have heard about so many plans since being a journalist more than 30 years ago. Every year there seems to be a plan. I can't tell you in detail about this new plan, but it's just another plan. They have to implement it. It has to become real.
Tourism was not taken seriously ever in Trinidad before. Now we realize that it can be a sustainable job. We can do it as a sustainable job.
It cannot and it probably will not and must not happen overnight. There must be a planned increase in tourism activities. Tourism has to coincide with national development. It has to be part of national development.
But people who come to your country normally leave something with you. And part of what they leave here with us will include their own cultures, the way they live, their lifestyles. They're going to interact with us and probably show us a new way of life.